Do you want like a clickbaity cold open? Because I got one.
Okay, do it.
I like DreamWorks more than Pixar.
Ooh, yeah, start with that. Start with that. Just that's the start of the...
I mean, it's clickbaity, but it's clickbaity, but it's also the truth.
Yes. Do I like it more than Pixar?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
If you think Pixar is better than DreamWorks, you are stupid. Yes, I know. It's insulting, but it's also the truth.
This is a George Wood reference, so you're not actually stupid. Please keep watching the video.
And George Wood. Anyway.
And scene.
Jeffrey Katzenwood.
Jeffrey Katzenwood! If you like Disney, you're stupid. Now, scene.
Now cold open. Or music.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Living The DreamWorks bonus episode.
Bonus 15.5, I guess you could say.
I don't know. I'm not numbering this.
We're not labeling this shit.
Yeah, this is just a bonus.
Yeah.
Welcome. We had just finished recording the B-movie episode, which is why I'm still recording this from my parents' place on my laptop microphone. But today we are going to be going through the first 10 years of DreamWorks animation. I'm the Wash.
I'm Random Bystander here.
And I'm Claire.
And we're going to talk about now that we've gone from 1998 to 2007. What do we think? What's the deal? What's the deal with DreamWorks animation?
DreamWorks animation. What's up with that?
What's up with that?
What's up with that?
Originally we were going to do something. Again, we said this before. Originally we were going to do something else instead of DreamWorks. I was a little nervous when we were like, let's do DreamWorks because of a certain movie we'll get to later down the line. That's why we did it. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you probably know. Let's be honest here. But I was kind of into it because this kind of made me realize that I grew up with a lot of DreamWorks movies.
Yeah.
Just as much as Pixar. And I don't think it was by choice. I think it was because my parents just wanted to get me to watch something.
Yeah.
And if Finding Nemo was there, great. If Shrek was there, great.
If Shark Tale was there, fine.
Fine. You go to the theater and see it on your own. I'm going to wait in the car.
Oh, wow.
Hey, my mom didn't want to see Shark Tale. Even looking back at Pixar's perspective, there was the 2000s were like the golden age. And then there were some boring episodes. Every single episode, even the bad films, are something to talk about.
First off, like 15 animated films in 10 years. That's busy as hell.
Yeah, how many? Again,
oh yeah, that's insane.
How many did Pixar do in their 10 years? Because they started in...
They started in 1995, and there was... It's like the last one, the first 10 years would have ended at The Incredibles. So you're talking Toy Story, Buzz Life, Toy Story 2, Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo, Incredibles.
Six. All good film.
It would vary depending person to person. I think there's a correct answer, but it would vary depending on person to person. But there's probably like one film, maybe two, most likely one film that you don't like in that bunch.
Yeah.
Pixar is consistent.
And
Pixar was.
And one you can't argue, all those films financially were good.
Yeah,
all of them.
Very successful.
Yeah.
And this is a weird one because like they made so many movies and it is not consistent.
No.
It's not even consistent in terms of like whether it's 3D or 2D.
No, not at all. And you know what? I kind of like that.
Oh, I love it.
It makes it like With Pixar, it's like, okay, I've seen this before. I know what I'm going. Yeah, that scene, I know what's going on. With this, I don't know what the hell's going to happen half the time. And it's like an adventure.
Yeah. And if it was just like if it was, you never know what you're going to expect, but, the lows were your least favorite Pixar movie and the highs were like, I don't know, Finding Dory. Above average, then it would just be like, whatever. But, I mean, when this company knocks it out of the park, it's like, holy cow. And when they do the opposite, it's like, oh my God.
Holy cow. It's, like, when they go big, they go big, whether on both sides of the teeter-totter. Like,
oh, yeah.
Again, the metaphor we used was like a spaceship that can get you to Pluto but might go to the sun. It's burned, the vessel is certainly burned a couple of times while imploding, but it's fine.
If we are talking about like the Pixar DreamWorks comparison, I think the one that I'm gonna have to make, because I've definitely had to made this complaint for so many of the DreamWorks films, compared to Pixar, especially early Pixar, is script.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
There's definitely been story has been a low priority, let's just say, for the vast majority.
Yeah.
There are maybe like 2 movies, maybe three.
Yeah.
Ignoring
the Aardman movies, which understandable. Ignoring the Aardman movies, there's like Prince of Egypt, Shrek 2, right?
Yeah, and even like Shrek 2 is just.
I'm gonna argue B movie is well written. I'm sorry.
No. There's a difference. That's not what Wash isn't saying it's poorly written, but like the actual like plotting of the script.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Prince of Egypt, Shrek, and Shrek 2, and honestly, Prince of Egypt, they didn't really write that story.
Yeah, true.
They did a good job with like characterization.
Yeah.
Of it.
But it's still a given. Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's a very big difference between Finding Nemo and Shark Tale, and it's not just because of Martin Scorsese talking about Yo Diggity Dog or whatever he was saying in that fucking ass movie.
Yup.
There's a completely different like priority. Like Andrew Stanton was just like he went psychotic over trying to figure out like how to write a good screenplay.
They did not do that with Shark Tale.
No.
They barely do that with like and that's something that we talked about at the end of like during Sinbad, was that like Jeffrey Katzenberg killed off the 2D animation department and just made them go fully into CGI and just some awful results there. But like he was just we were just saying that like, man, none of these scripts have been good. They just seem to be too much meddling and just too many like, well, why don't we just like have it this way and this way, and it just like kept falling apart.
Yeah,
it just could not get a good story off the ground.
The only exceptions are Shrek and Shrek 2.
Yeah, we was it.
And even then, they still have some issues too. Shrek more than Shrek 2, in my opinion.
I personally wouldn't really say Shrek as having like a good script. It's more having like good characters.
Yeah.
But Shrek 2, like I would say, generally a really, really good script.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're not counting Aardman.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
they're a whole different ballgame. And even then, though, Chicken Run didn't have the best story.
I mean, neither did Flush. I mean, when I say Aardman for scripts, I mean Were Rabbit.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm a huge fan of Chicken Run. Flushed Away is growing on me. I mean Were Rabbit.
Yeah, I know. I figured.
But I mean, I would say Were Rabbit has a better script than even like Shrek 2. I love that movie so much. I prefer Shrek 2. But Were Rabbit is like, I need to watch Were Rabbit and like Prince of Egypt back to back. I really don't know which movie I like more at this point.
Yeah, I gotcha.
That's a good point.
Yeah, all of Pixar was good, but like, again, this is more now Pixar, because again, 10 years in comparison, this is Pixar's really golden age. Like, they're
Yeah,
halfway
Pixar
through the
at their
golden age
best.
at this point.
Yeah.
Half of their best, honestly, because we still got the other half,
Fair.
which is like Ratatouille, Wall-E, Up,
Yeah.
and then it kind of goes downhill, arguably, after that, depending on who you ask. Toy Story 3 or Cars 2. I might have missed one in between.
You missed Cars.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody likes
Cars.
that movie.
I like it, but if only there's a bee car in Cars.
There are.
There are bugs. There's a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yep.
I'm not talking about Cars.
All right, but either way, like, it's hard to compare the two, and Pixar is technically winning in this one. Like,
If we're talking about cultural impact, money, overall success, Pixar wins big time.
Yeah.
DreamWorks had some winners, but it had a lot more losses too.
I mean, all three of us agree that Prince of Egypt, really freaking good movie. Like, if not a masterpiece, then like a great movie. Bombed.
Well, it did like.
Well, it didn't. Okay, it didn't bomb compared to like El Dorado or Sinbad, but
Yeah, like El Dorado and Sinbad
it did pretty bad.
bombed.
And then El Dorado, ranged from all right to very good. Bombed.
Yeah, like it's not a bomb. It was just more. Prince of Egypt was more disappointing.
Yeah.
Because the trouble is that like so many of these films were expensive as hell.
Yeah.
Which was supposed to be the appeal of Aardman, which is why like them upgrading the CGI just made it like even more of a clusterfuck.
Yep. But I don't know. It still was interesting to watch them. Some were, I'm not gonna lie, some were terrible to watch. Like my bottom, like I would say it doesn't start getting good for me until arguably somewhat good for me. Like I somewhat enjoying them until like or maybe number 11 or 10, which is Over the Hedge and Ants. Granted, I have El Dorado pretty high up compared to the others at number 8, but there's still like 4 to 5 movies that are like ugh.
Yeah, that's exactly how I am. The bottom 4 to 5, depending on what my mood is on Over the Hedge, because that's my 5th from the bottom. Some days I'm like, Over the Hedge is fine. Other days I'm like, it's not so fine.
That's how I am too. My bottoms are Over the Hedge, Spirit of the Stallion of the Choo Choo Train, Shark Tale, Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas, and then Shrek the Third is the really bad one.
I forgot to put Shrek the Third on here. I know. No, yeah. I know where I put it. I'm gonna put it on here right now. I forgot to put it on here.
I don't blame you. I really don't. Shrek the Third gave me a goddamn meltdown.
I'm a bit more critical that like it's really like a little under like the bottom 7 of it is like to awful, and then it's not until like Madagascar and Up that not Up the movie but like Upwards that like I can say that I like the movies.
I gotcha.
It's just it's very spotty so far. It's been very, very spotty. We have there's still like there's still been like fun to talk about. If we didn't have like Count Rancid for Over the Hedge, oh man, I think we would have run out.
I mean, I still would have had some fun with it, but like it would have made it work. I honestly needed him for Shark Tale more than anything else.
I mean, Shark Tale is like you could talk. I mean, I Over the Hedge is better. I think.
Yeah.
Not that that's saying very much,
you were
but...
just like defeated.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Shark Tale was just
it's
such a wild train wreck,
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, a lot of our worst episodes had the either best moments or best guest stars. Like, Gianna was in all the Shrek movies, including Shrek the Third. Shark Tale had Rancid. Over the Hedge had Rancid. The only ones that we didn't have guest stars with were the 2D ones, oddly enough. Which Spirit was so boring, and Sinbad was Sinbad. I should be like, I prefer Pixar at this point, and in a way I do. But like when it comes to like doing the podcast, again, it's an adventure, and when it comes to better quality, yes, Pixar wins. Quality over quantity, big time. But I'm having fun with this podcast a lot.
Yeah, and I guess to liking A more than B and saying A is better than B are two very different things. at this point in their lineup, I do think Pixar was I mean, it's so hard to be objective, because, there's the term objective needs to die. Like, oh my god. But I think at this point, I'm still kind of leaning towards preferring Incredibles is better than all the DreamWorks movies so far. But I'm still leaning towards preferring DreamWorks right now. And it's for, the reason that Random had already talked about, but I engage myself with a lot of media, right? So I find myself having more of a soft spot for stuff that can really catch me off guard. And I'm not saying that, like, well, I've watched the Pixar movies a million times, so, I know what's coming and they bore me. Nothing like that, but the movies to be written to be that good, I don't want to say, like, they have to be written in a certain way, but, if you look at the Pixar movies, like, for the ones that I like anyway, there's obviously one exception, but, everybody has that one Pixar movie they don't like, it's fine, but they're not formulaic, not at all, but getting from A to Z with Pixar movies has a much more, knowledgeable flow to it, I guess. Whereas with DreamWorks, it feels, when they're good, it feels natural. If I had to make a comparison, which is a funny comparison because I prefer Mario in this case, but it's like comparing Mario to Sonic. Mario is like, you write a book on how to make a good game, right? And then you follow that book. Yeah. Sonic, you read the book and you say, well, all right, let's make it interesting. And then you alienate, like, 70% of the player base, but that 30% is like, these are just like some of the best games you're ever gonna play.
Yeah.
You make a weird ass thing, and then the very next thing alienates the fans of the previous thing. I guess this is more something that I'm just gonna be looking forward to when we get into the next stuff. That so far, genre has been pretty down just middle of the road, just like comedy. We had Prince of Egypt, and that's it. Like, everything has been comedies.
And well, Spirit a comedy? It wasn't good, but was it a comedy?
Barely, if anything. I would say more that was the more Oscar bait film than comedy.
Yeah, not good.
Oh, but completely forgot about Spirit because it sucks. Yeah, that's fair. That's okay. That's a fair point. That, like, Spirit would be much more of a drama, much more of a, I guess, nature drama. If you could
I wouldn't even say nature.
Yeah, but
I would say historical drama. Historical drama.
Uh-huh. Yes, it's more of a historical drama. That's a fair point. I just forgot about it because it sucks. But like, there's definitely just been a very, like, dearth of variety, and I am looking forward to them like really, like, stretching their muscles and, like, actually try to make me cry. Instead of just, like, being joke. Because for a lot of the time, it's just, like, I'm just rolling my eyes.
Do you regret doing the podcast?
Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? This has been a ball. This has been... I actually get to say, I think that B-Movie is one of the better DreamWorks movies. I get to say that because... And I can, like, definitively say, don't watch Sinbad.
Watching the movies is one thing. It's so nice being able to say, man, how good is Shrek 2? And then in the next breath being like, why is the studio still around? They made Sinbad.
We talk about as we have a lot of experience with the studio, and we do. We watched 15 films.
Yeah.
That's more than Blue Sky, I think.
Oh, God.
I think so.
Check.
I think Blue Sky was like 12, I think.
13!
Oh, my God. Even if you count, like, Nimona, which is like a spiritual successor, that's still less.
Although, the question is, do you count Aardman? Let it be known, I only say that because Aardman and DreamWorks are separate. It's not a quality issue.
Yeah. Honest to God.
I mean,
Aardman is the saving grace for DreamWorks in this era, other than Shrek and Shrek 2. Like,
I don't know about that. I still don't know about that.
Were Rabbit, though. It's, like, one of the best.
I mean, yeah, but to say they're the saving grace, like, I mean, B-Movie we just talked about, the Shrek movies, Prince of Egypt for quality, Madagascar, depending on who you ask.
The only real saving grace I say like second run is more because like they just needed like
They
They
needed the
needed
money.
something.
they needed an
the
extra
money.
leg before they get to Shrek.
Yeah.
We watched 15 movies. We're not even halfway done. We're not even close.
We're almost halfway through in terms of like year, but we're still a long way away.
Yeah, and more keep coming. Like, at the time of this, guess what got added to the list since we started?
Is it Ruby Gillman or is it something
Yeah,
else?
Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. That's added now. But I'll be honest, by the time this episode comes out, Trolls is probably going to be coming out too, because it's in November. Or at least close to coming out.
Yeah, that's true. That's
true.
The thing is, it's never going to end because we always got like 3 films a year.
I just love that, like, and I know not most people aren't going to agree, but you know, I'm nearing 30, right? Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
I've been around the block. I know what to expect, and at this point, you can still throw something at me and not just surprise me, but completely blindside me.
Yup.
That's not something from any of the other animation studios. At least I was gonna say at least for Western, but like Eastern, everything in between. Like, I mean, there are surprises. I've been surprised by plenty of movies, but nothing that's like whoa.
Whoa.
Whereas like revisiting Shrek, revisiting B movie, experiencing all the Wallace and Gromit stuff for the first time.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I know that's Aardman, but it wouldn't have happened without DreamWorks.
Yeah.
Like just like, again, blindsided, and like I wouldn't even the shorts. Which I mean, I'll be perfectly honest, I love Shrek 2, but I think I might like the Wallace and Gromit shorts more.
Yeah. If we had thrown those shorts in, Close Save is easily at the top.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah.
Agreed.
Even if like just to keep length fair, we lumped all the shorts together. Like it's still probably my number one. But without Curse of the Were-Rabbit, I probably never would have watched them. I would have just known Wallace and Gromit was this kooky little British thing. I didn't think I was gonna like the shorts nearly as much as I did. I was like, oh, they're gonna be good, and then I'm like, these are like the best.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, that's been my in terms of like what we watched. Those were my favorite things of the whole bunch. Just like getting to experience my like old childhood and just getting to relive it. Like, wow, this is like top notch cinema.
Yeah.
Like Jeffrey, this is what you could be doing right now, but you
Yes.
just keep fucking around.
Again, there's some good stuff like
Yeah, there's still good stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
but
making
it could be
fun.
so much greater, and it hopefully will be late. Well, we know it will be with a certain film, but like we'll
Yeah.
get to. Hopefully, it'll be more in between.
I guess what one thing just to wrap this up, I guess because we're talking about how many surprises we are, and it's like I'm hoping that like we're still gonna get there like in the next 10, 20, 30 films. Like I'm hoping that like it's still gonna keep being fresh. And I guess like maybe there is gonna be a point where we're saying like, no, this is DreamWorks, like this is the bad era. Like we're saying with like Pixar, like, oh, this was the bad era, or this is the golden age.
I have a weird prediction.
What's that?
I don't think there's going to be a quote unquote golden age like there is in Pixar. I think it's just going to be good films, bad films.
Okay.
That's my prediction. Like that's just I just feel that's how DreamWorks is. They try, especially compared to Pixar now, they take risks more. Like Pixar takes a lot of risks nowadays, but like,
Do they?
Do they?
no. Pixar takes a lot of risks back in the day when they were first starting out, and then they slowly are just morphing into a started part of Disney now. Again, this could be watching a certain film, recent Pixar film that just came out, but like, whether you like it or not, predictable it was. And I just feel like DreamWorks, no matter what they do, whether good or bad, they are not going to be predictable. And that can lead to good stuff, that can lead to bad stuff, that can lead to horrid stuff, that can lead to mess stuff.
Yeah.
But it's still... I know you said you would lack a variety with comedy, so yeah, that's a little rough. And they hopefully will work on that too. Again, it's going to be the box of chocolates of animation films. You never know what you're gonna get.
I think the next 10 years, we're definitely going to get a huge spike in genre variety.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
talk about all of those.
Oh yeah.
It's just been like fascinating to just follow along into like how this kooky ass company run half off of spite from the one producer. How is this gonna go on? And I just hope that we're not gonna get a Bourne era of DreamWorks,
We'll see.
where they just kind of take things too by the numbers. And I looking at the list ahead, I can certainly see a couple where it's like, oh, I'm not looking forward to that one.
Again, no golden age, just good and bad movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna say, for everyone that I'm not looking forward to, there's one that I am.
Yes.
Yeah. So-
And there were 15 films between that, the 10-year anniversary. In the next 10 years, there will be,
I think there's 20.
yes, so nearly double.
Nearly double.
No, the next time we do a 10-year retrospective will be 20 films to discuss.
Yes.
I don't know.
And we're not even talking about the films, we're just more talking about the general vibe of
Yeah,
DreamWorks.
just the general
Yeah,
vibe
oh, yeah,
of the
yeah,
company.
Yeah, which is...
I mean, and when I say like, oh, Pixar, DreamWorks, whatever, like at the end of the day, like they're corporations.
Yeah. It is more about like, are these good movies or not?
Yeah. The vibes of the movies made by the company, not the company itself.
Yeah.
Because the vibes of DreamWorks are spite and our good pal Jeffrey. Like that, those are the
Yes.
vibes.
I have a question that we can end this all on.
Okay.
Name a film first that you are dreading, the one you are dreading the most out of the next 10 years
So between
of DreamWorks.
yeah, somewhere
between that.
2008 and 2017.
Yes. Name one that you are not looking forward to, and then name one you are excited for.
I'll start because I am bizarrely the DreamWorks stan.
Yeah.
For the one that I'm not looking forward to, I don't even have to think about it. I double checked Boss Baby.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
However, for one that I am looking forward to, nobody talks about this movie, and it is low key. The last time I saw it, I remember thinking it was one of DreamWorks' best, and Pacific Data Images did it, so I know that there's a chance that this holds up. Peabody and Sherman. I am so excited for Peabody and Sherman.
Interesting.
I am so excited for that one. I love that movie.
Okay.
I have not seen it, so I'm now that you said that. But yeah, Pacific Data Images is doing it.
Yeah, and it was made in 2014, so like that era of people that are like, oh, 2010s, that's what DreamWorks was like, whatever. I'm like, it's got Peabody and Sherman. It also has Boss Baby Shut Up, but it has Peabody and Sherman, so it's okay.
Yeah, so you already said like Boss Baby. I'm gonna go with one that I think people just kind of forget about. That I'm just. It's not that I'm like dreading it. I'm just thinking like this is. It just looks boring to me. Home.
Mm-hmm.
With the Bazinga guy from Big Bang Theory. I forgot his name already. That guy. But I'm not sure about that one. But what I am very intrigued for is I think I'm gonna have to say it. I'm How to Train Your Dragon. It's like, especially like there's quite a few.
It's going to be the
movies.
first two, I think.
Yeah, the first two are gonna be there, and like I hear a lot about that. It's a very it's much closer to Brave than it is to B movie. So I'm very interested to see what, especially Chris Sanders, who did like Lilo and Stitch. It's like I'm very interested to see like how he's gonna take this sort of premise and where this whole idea is gonna go, because it's not being like jokey Jerry Seinfeld. It's not stunt casting. It's going for something else. It's going for like a legitimate story. I'm interested to see where that's gonna go.
I love how we all have different answers.
I mean, we all have Boss Baby, but
No, the one I knew I was gonna say was I knew from the get-go for both of them. This is gonna sound weird coming from me, but I am dreading Trolls.
Oh.
I am dreading it. I feel like it's gonna be like a kid's version of Pitch Perfect, but awful. And just, I feel like that is stunt casting at its worst, and it has songs that are not that are pop culture songs that are just like sung like Pitch Perfect. I just have a bad feeling about it. I want to be proven wrong, though. That would be fantastic if I was, but I just don't think I'm going to be. I am dreading it more than Boss Baby. And the fact that we have to watch Trolls and Boss Baby back to back.
God.
But then to follow that up with Captain Underpants.
Hell yeah.
Now, for the one I'm looking forward to is probably no surprise. I love this back even when I first saw it on cable, and I'm going to be so happy to revisit it again. Megamind.
Oh.
I cannot wait to see that.
I've never seen it.
Oh, I cannot wait. Because there's just so many. It's so interesting, and it's a supervillain movie that just unfortunately got overshadowed by this little movie you may have not heard of called Despicable Me.
I heard of the Minions.
Yeah,
Banana.
I remember really liking it and a lot of the things that were in it. And from what I've seen bits and pieces of recently and heard about in video essays, it seems like it's aged well. With one line being humorously interesting, but we'll get nowadays after a certain... You know what? We'll save it. We'll save it. I'll make the joke months later.
It is so funny. And I don't know, I'm not saying good versus bad, but I think it's so funny that Wash is saying, man, I wish these movies would at least try to make me, like, feel something, looking at, like, so many of the movies coming up, like...
Yeah, I know.
It's so funny. That's so fun. Again, good or bad, no idea. Like, we'll see. But the trying part, that's so funny.
Yeah, I know. That's part of why I wanted to do this episode, because we're kind of having to take stock that, like, we're gonna be entering a very, very different era, and at the same time, a very similar era. Because they still just, like, keep throwing shit on the wall and just, like, whatever. We'll see how it is.
And this will be the longest era, I say, because, honestly, the one after that is, like...
Because we're talking, like, 2000 to 2017, then it's, like, 2018 to the present.
Not even 2018, 2019. They didn't make a film in 18.
Yeah.
That's right, they didn't.
And granted, more films will be coming out by the time we do this podcast, I'm sure. At least, I'm pretty sure...
God damn, 2019, that's like a year before the pandemic. Jesus Christ. So
yeah, and there's two that came out.
Yeah, they were still making movies. And they started making movies for Netflix that we're going to have to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it. All right, well, anyway.
I don't feel like doing a plug at the end of this. So, we're ending the podcast here.
Okay, and we're not even saying goodbye?
Oh, okay. I'm the Wash.
I'm Random Bystander here, and I think you should like, comment, and subscribe.
I'm Claire, and I think you should visit soundcloud.com/Pixarspective.
If you can
maybe
find it,
Pixar
let us know.
is better. It's not we don't have a soundcloud.com/Living The DreamWorks.
Yeah, that would be cool, though.
Yeah, you can upload the one music track that we have for Living The DreamWorks and never upload anything else.
I will create soundcloud.com/Living The DreamWorks, and I will favorite somebody doing somebody, and then that's the only thing that SoundCloud is going to be there for.
You heard it from them, folks. All right. We'll see you next time on Living the DreamWorks with some Kung Fu Panda.
Holy God, I'm so excited. I'm so fucking excited.
I can't wait to see Poe and hear him sing Peaches.
First we did Patrick Warburton, and now it's Jack Black.
Next time.
Bye.
See you then.
Bye.